Welcome to the Full Spectrum Centre Limited, the YouTube channel that aims to support you on your wellness journey. For the latest wellness and self-care tips, guides and advice, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of our content.
Welcome to Meditation for Beginners. Now, meditation has a wide range of benefits for our physical, mental, emotional and spiritual well-being. And practicing meditation will enable you to get into a state of deep relaxation within minutes, making it possible for the stress-causing hormone levels to drop, resulting in good and happy feelings. By engaging in meditation, you can change your awareness and focus clearly on the present, enabling you to gain more clarity and improved health. Now, there are many benefits to be gained through meditation, but beginners often struggle to develop a meditation practice. There's lots of confusion about what meditation is and how to practice it. A lot of people think that you have to sit in lotus position for an hour and think of nothing, and that's not what meditation is. So I'm going to share with you a few tips that can make a significant difference when you're starting out. You'll be able to meditate more effectively and enjoy greater benefits with these valuable tips. So let's get started. Tip number 1. You don't need anything to meditate other than yourself. Yes, it can be nice to have a comfortable meditation cushion or meditation stool, to wear loose fitting clothing and to have a quiet, calming location. However, you don't actually need any of those things. All you need is yourself and a positive growth mindset. You can literally meditate anywhere. And I'm going to share with you a little story about when I first started teaching meditation classes nearly 15 years ago. I bought a clock for the wall just so that I could keep an eye on the time for the classes. And I didn't realise when I bought it until I put it up on the wall that it ticked quite loudly. So the first class that we did, everyone enjoyed the meditation, but each person said to me at the end, "Next week, can we take the clock off the wall because we found it really irritating?" So the following week, I took the clock off the wall and out of the room, and guess what? At the end of the class, everyone said they enjoyed the meditation, but everyone said, "Can you please put the clock back next week?" And what they'd realised is they actually were meditating to the tick of the clock. And it's impossible sometimes to find somewhere that's completely silent, so you should be able to train your brain, your mind, to meditate anywhere, in any surroundings. And as I say, you don't need any equipment, you just need yourself. Tip number 2, start with mindful breathing. There are many different forms, types and meditation techniques, and some require higher levels of focus and discipline. But arguably, mindful breathing is one of the most valuable forms of meditation. Simply focus on your breathing, and when your mind begins to wander, just gently return your focus to your breath. It's as simple as that. Tip number 3, move if you need to. It's important to be comfortable, in a comfortable position, whether that's sitting in lotus position, sitting in a chair or on a cushion on the floor when you're meditating. But remember, you don't necessarily need to be seated. You could engage in a walking meditation where you simply be mindful when you're walking. Ideally, you'd want to find a peaceful location where you can still focus on your breath. Remember, the more distractions that you have, the more challenging it will be when you meditate. So find that comfortable position and that comfortable space, somewhere that you won't be disturbed if possible, and somewhere that you can just focus on your breath, or on the guided meditation that you're doing, or candle flame or crystal, whatever it is that you choose to have during your meditation and the type and technique that you're using. Just be comfortable and get into that comfortable position. Tip number 4 is when you're starting out, it's sometimes very distracting thinking about how much time there is left. So for example, if you wanted to have an intention of meditating for 10 minutes, it can be really tempting to clock watch, and that takes your focus away from the meditation that you're doing. So you'll tend to peek the clock and then you'll try to mentally calculate how much time there is left. So that's really distracting. So it's easier to use a timer instead and to keep your attention where it belongs. Tip number 5 is try to be mindful throughout your day. Now you can use a timer app on your smartwatch, your smartphone, your computer to remind you to be mindful. And you can set the timer to notify you maybe every 10 to 15 minutes and just take a few mindful breaths and then just return to your previous activity. Now I use an app on my smartwatch called Breathe, which uses a graphic that zooms in and out so that I can time my breaths to it, and it also reminds me to take those mindful moments. Tip number 6 is meditate several times each day. So meditation is a practice. Remember, we're training our brain and our mind. So if you can meditate more than once a day, then you should. Now perhaps you could meditate in the morning when you wake up and then again at night before you go to bed. Or maybe you could aim to meditate for 1 minute each hour or 10 minutes every 4 hours. Remember, the goal is to be more mindful throughout the day, and this is more easily accomplished if you meditate several times each day. And it gets you into that practice. Tip number 7 is be gentle with yourself. Meditation isn't about struggling and tiring yourself out. Meditation gives you energy. It shouldn't and doesn't take energy from you. So use gentle, persistent awareness and attention. You'll be more successful and you'll enjoy the process so much more. Tip number 8, pay attention to your posture. The longer you meditate for, the more important posture becomes. Almost any position can be comfortable for a few minutes, but few positions are comfortable for 20 minutes or more. Even your comfy couch is inadequate. It's important to maintain a well-supported position with a straight spine, so leaning or slouching will create tension and discomfort. If you've ever wondered why a full lotus position is so popular in meditation, it's because your ankle bones aren't digging into the floor, and it enables your spine to be stable and straight, and it also aligns all of your chakras so that energy can flow freely and smoothly. So pay attention to your posture when you're meditating. If you're not comfortable on the floor, then find a wooden straight back chair to sit in. Tip number 9 is avoid meditating after a large meal. A big meal can make you feel sleepy, uncomfortable. So it's best to avoid eating that big meal before meditating so that you can stay alert, aware and comfortable. And tip number 10, build up your meditation time slowly. Avoid pushing yourself or putting pressure on yourself. Just start with 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. And then add an extra few minutes each week. So maybe 10 minutes, then 15 and so on. So aim to build up to a longer session of around 30 minutes. Now meditation is a skill that requires time and practice. And many beginners really struggle and they give up before they actually realise the benefits. So try to make meditation one of your daily habits, and it won't take long then before you consider meditation to be one of your most important self-care and wellness activities. I want to thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more meditation tips and guided meditations too.